Tonight's stories. Midnight.
Afterparty.
Random.
25.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast. I'm Michael, and I'm here with
Nearsighted Harley Quinn.
Hulk Hogan, brother.
What is that?
You got this sound effect?
It was the lip crinkle for me because I was like, what is that signal? I was like, is he not talking at all?
I was like, oh, he's going for that ominous darkness.
I was like, well, what's wrong with John?
Death.
Oh.
The one who knocks. The Grim Reaper.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Hey.
We are here not for our Halloween episode. We're just here looking normal
Obviously.
Right.
and hanging out.
This is
Got
just
that
another
right, brother.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another day.
Another day in the lab.
Husker's actually dressed up a little bit, but you can't see him, and I'm not going to pick him up because he's laying down. But if he gets up to bark, which is likely, you'll be able to see.
A little surprise,
A little
perhaps?
surprise. I can tell you what I've been up. What I've been up
What
to.
you been up to?
Yes.
Hey, yo! Okay, I will say Maddie has made it right. Sorry. Mike.
You have to explain what even happened because they don't even know.
Oh, they don't know? Well, I guess we'll give a Sparks Note version. The Express. Maddie drank up all my Red Bulls.
In Oklahoma.
All of them. All of them. And I was like,
your Red Bull.
When you were in need. Damn,
yeah, she's
a
trifling.
friend in need. Yeah, she's
Whoa
a
there.
gold drink drinker. Way over time.
That
That's
day
good.
don't
Eat. Yeah. Yeah.
Maddie drank up all
She
of-
drank, but
I ain't saying she.
she ain't messing with the broke bull.
Hey.
Maddie drank them up, and now I think I've gotten her hooked on these.
Yeah. But at the way that this drink is making me go, I'm up until midnight for sure.
It
Like this
gives you
first
wings.
story.
I hate how you're so smooth with it. I hate how you're so every time you do it, and I'm like, and I play off of it, and then here we go. It's a word.
But it's like, can it be both? Like, can it be a conversation and a transition? You know?
You do it like that every time, and it's so smooth. It's like I get caught with my pants down, and I'm like,
Shout out to Sam.
Sam.
Shout out to Sam.
I was trying to say it earlier, but you my cousin. Shout out to Sam.
Shout out to Sam.
Shout out to Sam.
He gonna be back. He gonna return. Don't worry.
All right, so this first one is, I took a shower at midnight while my wife was watching TV. Who's the asshole?
Ooh, okay. I'll tell you.
My wife was sitting in the recliner watching her iPad right outside the kids' bedroom. I figure I'm in the clear to take a long shower. When I turn the shower off, I hear my 3-year-old crying and screaming for daddy. I hurry. As I'm going through the family room, I look at my wife sitting watching her iPad and I say, "You couldn't calm him down?" And she says, "No, I tried 3 times." I go into his room and I pick him up. He immediately stops crying and he starts to catch his breath. I feel what I thought were tears dripping down my shoulder. I think, poor guy, he's been so upset for so long enough for my wife to come in 3 times. I lay him in bed and I start tucking him in, and he says, "I have a mess." I figure tears and snot. I grab wipes and tissues and I turn the flashlight on my phone on. That's when I realized he was covered in blood.
Oh.
His first bloody nose, and it was bad. All over his face. Arms, clothes, stuffy, blanket, and I'm covered. Those were not tears dripping down my shoulder. I get cleaned up and I ask my wife to shout the bloody items while I get him cleaned up. I'm tucking him in and I asked why he didn't let mommy help, and he said, "Mommy didn't come check on me. Somebody never checked on me." Now my wife is pissed at me for expecting her to help. I'm pissed at her for not taking care of our son while I'm in the shower and she's watching her iPad. And I'm pissed that she's pissed that I expected her to help. So who's the asshole?
Like she's pissed. Say that last one again.
She's pissed that he expected her to help while he was in the shower and he didn't know. And she's right next to the door. I think it's clearly the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a... Yeah.
Because why did she have to lie and say, yeah, I checked up on him. And this kid has like a bloody nose, bleeding all over everything and everywhere.
Dang. Yeah.
And you're just like on your iPad.
And a long shower too. Like, what is a long shower to you guys? That's like 30 plus minutes.
Yeah.
Right,
40
yeah.
maybe.
At least 40. I say at least like 40 minutes is like a long shower.
Because I want to say it's a lot longer for women. Or people who, I want to say it's for people who have longer hair and have to like do hair care and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe if you have short hair, it might not be as long, but you could be sitting under that shower. So how long does it take you guys to take a long shower?
A long shower? It takes
Still
me a long
40
time.
minutes?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
chilling?
I just like the water just hitting me.
Yeah.
I'm good to stand there.
Yeah.
I'm good to stand there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just like almost like under like my skin almost burning off.
Exactly.
But like not
Oh.
quite.
Because then you get out and you like
boil.
feel like your skin like...
Yeah. You need like a little like singe when you stop the water and you still
Okay.
feel that singe on your skin.
Because
Yeah.
once you get out and you hit that cold air hits you, it's like your skin's like...
Yeah. And I love like when I take an extra hot shower, I get out and like I can see the steam coming off of my body. That's a sign of a fantastic
Yeah.
shower.
Like if the mirror's not foggy after you get out of the shower,
Yeah,
you didn't
clean.
shower right.
You didn't shower right.
Yeah.
You weren't in there long enough.
Right.
You telling me you were in the shower and your windows didn't fog up? Interesting.
Interesting. Suspect.
Interesting.
Unless you're taking cold shower.
Mm.
But
Who's
that's
really doing that?
That's
that's
what
a
I'm
different
saying.
type of beast.
Yeah, that's like people that are like really locked in. Because I guess like a cold shower, like if you're like horny or something, it's supposed to like get that off of you. You know
I just
what
want to say that's crazy. That's the first thing you thought of.
Yeah.
There are so many other health benefits that you could have said.
There's so many. Blood flow,
Well,
circulation.
But that's the first thing you said, right? So what's the other stuff?
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be good for your skin, better than hot water. Yeah.
It's good for like
Yeah.
like athletes do it and stuff.
It's supposed to like.
It does
relax.
offer many health
Yeah.
benefits.
I don't know what the health benefits are, but my brother, he started taking cold showers and he's like, I'm really trying to change my mentality. I got to take cold shower. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, so past the shower though, the fact that you probably took a 40 plus minute shower.
Oh, that's a shower right there.
Your partner was right next to the door hearing the baby cry and didn't check on them. Like that's crazy. And the fact that they're upset with you, I wonder if she was just upset because when she realized how serious it was, she tried to like blame it on him, be like, why would you expect me to do that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he though? If he's in the shower and you're
Yeah.
on your iPad,
Right.
why would he step out of the shower, soap running down his ass crack to take care of your kid?
He doesn't
Their
even
kid.
hear
Nah, for
it. He
real.
doesn't even
Yeah.
hear it. He
Right.
didn't hear it until the shower
Because like
stopped.
me, hey, I turn my music all the way up in the shower.
Yeah.
Bing, bing.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's a.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's the only thing that was kind of weird to me is the fact that she didn't go, and then was mad about it afterwards. But maybe it is just that whole. She's just upset she got caught. Pretty much not stepping up.
I would hope so, because what's the other? You heard your baby crying and you didn't go check on him, like. And it sounds like the way that he said my son was like, or my kid was like choking up. Like, were they choking on the blood? Like,
Right.
was there almost an even more serious situation happening? Or
Right. Because didn't he say, like, the kid said, like, oh, yeah, she
Nobody.
never checks up on me or nobody ever.
Nobody
it's not funny.
checks on me.
It's not funny. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's what OP said. But I was like, maybe the kid did say that. But
Yeah. And then it makes me think about, like, the context of their relationship, too, of, like, does she always have to look after the kid? So then that's
Yeah.
kind of why, you know, this is like her one little break or whatever.
That's what I was wondering
Yeah.
too. But it's like, it was like midnight. So in a way, you guys are like both off. It's not like it was he just got off work or you know, he just got home after work or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, top comment, not the asshole. The biggest issue for me is the lying. At the very least, she could have been honest that she didn't go in, but it's also profoundly fucked up to think that she didn't want to check on him. She's treating the idea of checking on her kid the same way a part-time cashier would treat having to mop a floor when it was supposedly their coworker's turn to do it. It isn't a job that she gets to clock in and out of. She has to be present and show up at all times. And if you were in the shower and you couldn't hear them crying, then it was definitely her chance to act. And I think that's another thing too of like what you had mentioned, because I consider that too, but he literally couldn't hear that the baby was crying, but she could. She was right next to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that. Did anybody have anything else to add?
Was there a top comment or another one?
No,
Any
that
others?
was a top comment. Can I unabashedly look at the board, or is anybody going to be mad at that?
I was gonna look, and then
no.
I knew you were gonna say something about me looking.
Yeah. Too bad we can't clean up that transition like this.
Next story.
Mm.
Let's go.
Oh, we should probably-
Lose just a little bit of the hairline. I was like, it was crazy.
It was just the thought and the stress about it.
So why did you make that face, sir?
I
Because
just
you stared at it long enough for me to make eye contact with you again.
I
And
just
you were
saw, extra couple wrinkles in the forehead, and I just wasn't
Couple
expecting
wrinkles
it.
is crazy.
That's all.
I'm just exasperating my face.
Right.
And really,
yeah.
that's
Raising
nothing
my
a little
eyebrows.
Botox
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
fix.
Yeah, nothing
But when
wrong
I
with
lower
that.
them, they stay there. Forget you guys. I'm not coming to the bad guys support group anymore.
I'm not a bad guy, brother.
Aren't you a bad guy though?
Right.
Wait, is
I
this
heard some things about you.
Yeah, I've heard things.
Yeah, you're racist actually.
Oh, I am?
Oh, I am. It's crazy. You ain't know.
You ain't know.
I was like, I gotta find something. I was gonna be SpongeBob, but I didn't
Oh,
have
so
any.
you came all the way out of character now. You back to Brandon?
I was gonna be SpongeBob, but I didn't have any khaki shorts because I literally got the black Crocs, and I was like, this looks just like.
I love how fast you separated yourself from Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, quickly.
I can't
If you
stand
don't
for
know,
racist.
now you
Now you
know.
I wish I did.
I actually like this character.
Willful ignorance. I don't know.
Man.
Am I overreacting to my wife cleaning up downstairs before out of town conferences?
Wait, what? She cleans up her own basement
Yeah.
before she goes out of town?
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, is she going out of town or is he going?
Let me just read this.
Who's going out of
I
town?
feel like he's going out of town, and he's like, "Why is the basement all clean?"
And she cleans up the basement?
Right?
Am I overreacting to my wife cleaning up downstairs before out of town conferences? My wife goes to 2 to 3 week long out of town conferences every year. I've noticed a pattern that my wife will do some very thorough grooming prior to our out of town conferences. Prior to conferences is now pretty much the only time she'll bother completely shaving down under. I know that at these conferences, she generally meets up and goes to parties with her friends and colleagues from current and past jobs.
Oh,
I'm only laughing because I let you guys think that it was downstairs.
Like the basement?
I'm not laughing at her shaving downstairs.
Right.
I'm not generally jealous, but I'm struggling to come up with an innocent explanation. One of her conferences this year is in Vegas. I'm coming along for the first few days, and then I'm heading back to work early next week. I left her in the hotel room and went down to get food, and she took a bath. Came back up to the room, and sure enough, she's completely shaved and it's completely bald. I've mentioned it, and she said she needed to clean it up because she's going swimming. She then kind of went into cuddle mode, which she sometimes does to assure herself that we're okay. I'm now thinking back to all the other conferences. Most of them didn't have pools or swimming that I'm aware of. Am I overreacting?
No. I too am trying to come up with an innocent explanation, and I I'm reaching and I've yet to come up with anything. Does anybody have any innocent suggestions?
The way that it's written, I'm like, I think you do have something to be worried about. Because that's fishy that you say in general. Because at first I was like, maybe it is for like going swimming or whatever. But the fact that he points out that there is no pool, but she does it anyway. I mean, Emma's like, do you know there's no pool before you do it, just in case, you know? I don't know. And then the fact that he's like, she's literally going into cuddle mode, which is what she does to assure us sometimes. That's information that he's giving us, but it's kind of making it a little bit more uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, maybe you're not overreacting.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd be suspicious.
Yeah, for sure.
Harley took off her glasses.
Oh, sorry.
That's how you know.
Yeah, it got
That's
serious.
how you know. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? If I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. I feel like from a partner standpoint, if my partner was doing that, I'd be like, who are you?
Right.
What are you doing?
So you don't never do this.
You don't never do this. You only do this. And you only do it when you go out of town. Why? Why? At that point, literally, why?
Are there consistent? Is there a consistent variable that's going on these conferences as well?
She's alone, and there's no pools. Well, there is a pool this time, but
it's like for work, right?
Yeah, it's for work, and it's for her current and past jobs. They're usually all together. Apparently.
Now, things aren't looking good.
Things aren't looking good.
Yeah.
Things aren't looking great.
So there's a little bit of an edit here.
Ooh.
In a mildly humorous turn of events, this made the front page. Since my wife uses Reddit, the predictable thing happened, and I woke up to a, oh my God, you dumbass. I'm glad I still make you jealous, but I'm not cheating on you text. So thanks, I guess, for forcing the conversation. I'm confident I'm just being a touch paranoid. Appreciate all the ladies responding that this is pretty much normal behavior. For your information, you're weird for grooming your pubes for self-confidence, but you're also very kind for telling me that and letting me get some sleep last night. Second edit, tomorrow I'm getting a Brazilian to see if it makes her equally jealous. We'll report back.
Ow.
Wait, okay.
Who are these survey of women? Who is the population you were surveying? Because
Are they loyal?
are they loyal?
Right. And then what was the proof that it was just word of mouth? Like,
Yeah, no, the wife was just like, I saw this and
Silly
you're
Billy.
an idiot.
I'm not cheating on you.
right. With no proof, no receipts, no.
I'm supposed to believe that.
I mean, you might be self-assured, but I'm still I'm not overreacting
Right.
for you.
Because I'm like,
You hear, listen, I've seen all these posts about everybody has this universal experience where they go see a pop star and like, oh my God, this is my favorite pop star. Like, he's going to notice me. And once he notices me, we're going to go home and we're just going to bang it out. That's why they shave. That's the whole reason. That's why I'm shaving. Because I want to make sure it's nice and tight. I got the line up, right? And you're telling me, Miss Ma'am, she's going on a conference out of town for work.
Because it was weird. It's like, so he said that he went for the first few days, and that's where she shaved, was in the hotel room when he went to go get dinner by himself, and he came back, and she was squeaky clean. And then they got in bed, but he said he's leaving early because he's got work next week, so she's gonna be there for a little bit longer.
Did she know the timeline too? I guess
She
that's
knows,
the other.
and she wants it to be fresh.
Because the other thing too,
Come on.
can we think about this for a second?
yes, ma'am.
Is she didn't shave before she got there while she was with him.
Right.
There was pools there the whole time. He's about to leave and she's
Thank you.
shaving.
Yeah.
Thank you. She wants it to
I
be
smell a rat.
bald.
Dang, like fresh.
She don't
fresh.
want that cactus.
Yeah, no
She don't want that
prickle.
prickly pear.
feel me?
Okay.
Like, come on now.
Sheesh.
Sounded like
Dang.
Brat Summer in here.
Girl, live your truth, but damn.
Man.
Damn.
Man.
Seems like she's going to an after party. Like this next story.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is, am I the asshole for breaking up with and kicking my girlfriend out because she went to an after party without me?
Well,
I, 24 male, and my girlfriend, 23 female, Anne, began dating in college. Last week, Anne invited me to her coworker, Joe's, party. I have heard a lot about him in the past, and he and she seem to have a lot in common, especially with their taste in music. Apparently, he was an amateur musician with a fairly successful YouTube channel. Joe initially invited only Anne, but when she asked him if I could tag along, he said it was fine. That party was on Saturday evening. It was a fun party with about 30 people held at a restaurant Joe had rented out. Towards the end, though, I wandered into Anne's little discussion group, and I immediately got the feeling that nobody wanted me to be there. Most of all, Anne. It was her, Joe, and a few other people. Thinking that I was just imagining things, I hung around and listened to Joe basically boast about himself the whole time. A little while later, I wandered off to get myself a drink and chat with a few other people. Eventually, the time to leave came around, and I went to find Anne again. Joe approached me at that point and said that he was having an after party at his house, and I was going to refuse, but then he said, "Sorry, man, only Anne is invited," while clapping me on the shoulder. I first told him, "Do not touch me," and that she's not going, and he informed me that she already accepted the invitation. I texted Anne immediately and asked where she was. She responded saying, "Sorry, on the way to Joe's place. I'll see you tomorrow, love you." I asked if she knew that I wasn't invited, and then she left me on red.
Oh!
Texts after that were all ignored.
Oh.
I drove home furious. I stayed up all night, and finally Anne walked in the door at 5:42 a.m. I know because I was by the window watching. I recognized the car as Joe's and the driver as Joe. Nobody else was in the car. Anne waved to him cutely and laughed at something he said. Anne came inside and acted surprised to see me still up. At that point, I flatly told her that we're done, and she had the rest of the day to move out. Anne was at first confused with me, and then I told her that she can just move in with Joe. She rolled her eyes and said nothing happened. She gave me this spiel about my insecurities and imagination. I said it didn't matter. After this back and forth arguing, Anne finally relented and sarcastically thanked me for wasting the best years of her life. Anne finally moved out yesterday, and it was pretty dramatic. She said that she loved me and that I was throwing away everything over a party. Did I do her wrong? I feel like I'm getting gaslit.
I understand being upset because that's low-key messed up. Like that is messed up. Like breaking up and kicking her out.
right? Yeah, that
Like
is extreme.
I don't think I would have broken up with somebody over that. I think
Right.
I would have been absolutely pissed off
Yeah,
because I think that's messed up. Because if we go somewhere together and we're a couple, like, oh my God, and we're a couple, and it's basically like, oh yeah, she's invited, but they literally tell you straight to your face, yeah, you're not invited, but
It's super suspicious.
your partner
Right.
is, and she's invited. That's weird. Because what's
Yes.
going on at this party?
right.
And
Why can't you come?
Why was I invited to this portion of the party, but I can't go to the after party?
Right.
That's weird.
Very
What are y'all
much so.
doing?
Very much so. Yeah.
And then like the leaving, when she got out of the car and she's like,
And he
Bye.
dropped her off alone. Almost it was the next morning.
It was.
It was 5 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next morning, she spent the night over there, basically.
and honestly, the more I'm talking about it out loud, like the more I'm like, well,
She said,
off
actually,
with her.
she said valid, actually.
That is kind of messed
Yeah,
up.
I could. Yeah, nah.
That's
the
messed
spending
up.
the night is what's also like that point right there is just getting me because what could you possibly be doing with a friend over a significant other
Yeah.
overnight of the opposite gender?
Right.
The biggest thing is, though, he brought it up to her. He reached out to her and he said, "Do you know that he did not invite me, like on
Yeah.
purpose?" And she left him on red. And then all of his other concerns, she just ignored him, which is why that's like the biggest suspicion. Because, yeah, to a certain extent, it could be like, hey, you know, this is something that I want to go do. That's really weird that he didn't invite you, so I probably won't go because that's some weird energy. But it's not too unnormal for like one person to go and the other person not. But the way that all of this stuff is adding up. It seems like they definitely like each other, and because she's in it just as much as the other guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him being the one who's like, hey, just so you know, you're not invited. Tap on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This is,
actually messed up. That's disrespectful.
This is giving like work boyfriend type
Yeah, work
vibes.
husband.
Yeah, work husband.
You
yeah.
can feel, even in the store, you can like feel the tension between the two of them. It's kind of
Right.
weird.
Yeah, that pat on the shoulder, that would have got me.
Because
I
you
would've got
know
That's
that
enough to
pissed him
hit.
off because he
Yeah.
had to write it down. He said he patted me on the shoulder.
I'm swinging.
Right.
I'm
Because at
swinging.
that point he knows that he won in that instance of like ego, whatever. Like he's like,
swinging.
I got you. I got you. And I
And
know
it-
I got you.
And it was proven when he was like, do you know what this man just did to me? And she just leaves it on red. Because initially she was like, because I think he said she called and then she texted back and then he texted her back and that's when she left him on red. But
And I think I feel like it was very calculated for him to like pat him on the shoulder,
Like
and then for him,
patronizing or
and then for him to be like, well,
belittling.
you know, she already said that she was going. Like,
Right.
I'm just telling you, you're not invited.
Right.
That's disrespect. I
So
feel like that is so
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
He went out of the way to do that.
He
Yeah.
went
He
out of
did.
his way to be like, yeah, she's going and you're not. Why? Because you're not invited.
Right.
But I'll have fun with her.
now that line is diabolical.
Like, that's how it feels.
At least he
Yeah.
didn't say little bro, because if he
Ooh,
Or
if
bud.
he said
Yeah.
little bro or bud, you gotta fight. I'm sorry.
pal. Oh God.
Literally.
See you, little buddy. So, top comment, not the asshole. If you love someone, you don't leave them behind and go to an after party with another guy. You did the right thing. I'm sorry. I know it hurts, but you'll meet someone better. And then another comment says, the way bro was like, your girl is coming, you're not. That's all I need to know to do the same. So,
Yeah.
you're looking over there a little hard, Sadia.
And see, that's why I don't glance over there. That's exactly
I just thought out of the
why.
side of my eye. But yeah, this story is making me grow a little each day.
Woo.
Oh, that is pretty bad, yeah.
You know, you're just
This is giving mullet now, actually.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And
Because
it's
the
real
party
flowy
is
too.
all in the back.
Yes.
Only in
What
the
do you
back.
mean by that?
Just what I said.
Mm.
The party's in the back.
Come on.
It's not
Why
up
did you
here
have to laugh and then straighten your face like that?
because that's what the situation called for.
Mm.
Okay?
That was really random. Like this
Like
next
the
story.
sex story. The Rogaine in full effect. Okay. The regrowth is
Mikael.
crazy.
Turkey did me right.
Period. Oh, you got the transplant.
All turkey?
Was it expensive?
I mean, yeah, but like when you like murder people, you know, like you just kind of take their stuff. And
Yeah.
take their money and stuff.
Okay.
So it's pretty chill. It's pretty chill. I mean,
Nice.
it's like that. The outfit can't really change much, but the hairline changed. That's all I need you
Can
guys
I-
to remember.
Can
Okay.
I say, for being like a murderer, you're pretty clean and pristine.
Mm.
I haven't killed tonight yet. It's
Oh.
not Halloween.
Yet. Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Might have to beat you to it.
Graham, whose door you gonna be knocking on next?
Hey, this guy.
You feel me?
That's my buddy.
Locked in.
Locked
Oh, they
in.
must be best friends, actually.
Am I overreacting for being upset when my stepdad brings random men into my room?
Oh.
Nope.
Okay, and at that you're done.
Yeah. You're cooked.
Who is the stepdad?
I, 16 female,
Oh,
live with my mom, 32 female, and my stepdad, 44 male. And twice now, he's brought male friends of his who I've never met into my room while I'm sleeping. For some context, my mom recently redid the room. The first time this happened, I asked him to not do that again, saying that being woken up by strangers in my room is both frightening and puts me into a vulnerable state. After that, we got into an argument about boundaries, but it happened again earlier this morning. He brought a neighbor into my room while I was sleeping around 9:30 a.m. to look at the newly painted walls. Both times I have asked my mother to talk to him about privacy, but she says it's not a big deal. So am I overreacting?
no,
Mm-mm.
that is absolutely freaking weird.
That's diabolical.
That's weird.
The mom is disappointing me.
Right.
Close to pissing me off. But
And it's just like,
She's pissed me off.
you know, I mean, it's not her actual father, but like, even as a father figure, you know, it's like your job as far as kids go is like, you're the protector. And so if you're letting strangers into the kid's room, it's like, what are we doing? You're not thinking.
And not just any time. At the most vulnerable times.
Yeah.
She was
literally
asleep.
sleeping at night. Nobody else is in there.
That's weird,
yeah.
dude.
And it's like,
So
Like
weird.
how hard is it to just take a picture? The room empty.
it's a
and be
painted
like,
wall.
It's a
Right.
wall that you
Yeah.
painted.
Literally.
You telling me you can't snap a pic and be like, yo, this is. First of all, why are newly painted walls like this earth-shattering, groundbreaking thing?
That's the dumbest
Right.
excuse he could have came up with. Oh,
I
we
gotta show
recently
all the
redid your
friends.
walls.
We gotta show the friends.
I have to show this neighbor.
Right.
neighbor?
Yeah.
Because it's like, you say that's the stepdad and like his respect, that's not his kid, but it's his responsibility to protect. I think mothers protect too. That's
Yeah.
her
For
actual
yeah,
mom.
for sure. Yeah.
And her
For sure.
mom is being like, you're overreacting. And the fact that she's having to stand up for herself because nobody else is seemingly protecting her is really frustrating to hear.
Weird, because
That's really weird.
who the fuck cares about the eggshell white you just put on her fucking walls?
When you can't
Right.
see it because it's literally
nobody
dark.
cares.
You can't
Yeah.
see anything unless
And
you're turning on the light.
You're
Right,
bringing
yeah.
men
Yes.
in her room
Right.
while she's sleeping,
Yeah.
and then the mom's just like, oh, no big deal. And this girl is 16, and
You
she
don't
can
even know-
pick up on that.
Yeah.
Even her just saying, hey, this makes me uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
it should have been over and done with there.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're like, oh yeah, it's fine, like, it's just showing it, which that by itself is weird, but I digress. Her just telling you, hey, this is something that makes me uncomfortable. You can't even respect that like super minimal boundary.
Right.
Because it's weird if her stepdad came in there at night to look at the walls. Like, it's like
Right.
he's using an excuse to get into her room, and it's,
When she's vulnerable.
yeah.
I
So
hope she shows them.
I don't think they care. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, the mom, not even the stepmom, the mom is gonna side with her boyfriend over her kid. At least that's what it seems like right now.
Yeah.
And the stepdad doesn't care because he knows what he's doing. And so top comment here, hell no, I'm a stepdad of a 17-year-old girl and I wouldn't ever think about stepping 1 foot into her room. It's super weird.
Right.
Okay, somebody else said, okay, yes, but also why the would a neighbor / friends want to go in there while she's sleeping? That would be so uncomfortable for me to go into someone's room while they're sleeping, especially if I was a grown-ass man going into a sleeping teenage girl's room. How extremely weird.
Very.
So yeah, hopefully she just got the validation that she was like, you guys agree with this, right? Yes. This is really weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 25 reasons why this is wrong. Just like this next story. Jesus.
There we go.
I was so like, I don't even know if enamored is the word, but like I was just so caught up in like how good it was.
Yeah.
That I forgot I was the person who was supposed to press the button.
Sadia definitely like got me. You don't have to try and hide the smile. 2 times you tried to push it down. Okay, it's okay.
Shut them goals, girl.
Stop, guys. Don't gas me up now.
'Cause
Don't gas me
I was
up.
like, of course he's gonna say something else, but then also I heard the rush of the transition. You got a little nervous there.
I did.
because-
It like always makes me nervous because you guys like all simultaneously look at me like
But heck yeah,
But you got it
she
in
got that
though.
transition in.
Yeah.
I
That
had to
was
get
really
one in.
good.
I had to get one in.
Yeah.
You know? I've been sideswiped too many times.
Oh. Oh.
Bow, 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 bow.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa. Put it back on. Put it back on. Put it back on.
Run it back, run it back, run it back. Everybody look away. Close your eyes.
Right.
maybe we just let it be for a little bit, or
It needs to be. All right. Do you need to let the forehead breathe?
Take that wig off. Let that forehead breathe.
Hey, Mikael, be who you want to be. If you bald, rock that bald. You feel me?
am I the asshole for uninviting 25 family members to my wedding 6 weeks to showtime?
No, they must have deserved it. You know. I'm all for saving some money. Saving money, living better.
Come on.
Walmart. Am I the asshole for uninviting 25 family members to my wedding 6 weeks to showtime? I've had this Halloween wedding planned for 2 years. The venue I wanted has a wait list. All of a sudden, my mom and grandma decided the wedding was satanic and wanted me to make last-minute changes. I told my mom and grandma a firm no. 2 years my family has known about this, and because I have told them now, half of my mom's side thought they would be cute and say they aren't coming in a random power struggle. I told them fine and canceled everyone's invitations who complained or backed my mom or grandma on this. One of my sisters acted like she stepped out of bridesmaid duty, so I replaced her. It was about 25 people that decided to act stupid at less than a 6-week mark, so I sent out uninvited invitations, and I sent out new QR codes for those attending, and the venue will check in by only those to let those people in. My aunt, who was one of the uninvited, told me people are allowed to disagree with me, and that doesn't mean you can just pull an invitation from a wedding that they have made plans to attend.
Make new plans. How about that?
I told my aunt they had 2 years for complaints, but saying you're not going at 6 weeks before my wedding is bullshit. And everyone fucked around and found out.
Yes.
I will not be bullied by my family over this. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not, girl. Yeah. That is so girl boss. I love that for her. Because really, last time I checked, it is my wedding and I will have my way. So yeah, absolutely. If you want to complain, you're done. You're done. Let's not even go back and forth about it. We don't even need to have a conversation. Why? Because it's my wedding. That's so funny how that works. Yeah. You're uninvited. You wanted to complain. You can disagree with me all you want. You made plans to come to my wedding. Make new ones.
You want to plan a coup?
You know?
Go ahead and rub this head because good luck with that.
Good luck, Charlie. Good luck.
It's actually Mike.
Mike, sorry.
That was such a girl boss move, though.
She's
Not even
the
girl
QR
boss, but just
codes
boss
and
in general.
everything. Yep.
Yeah, she stood on business, big business. You know, they wanted to play in her face. She wasn't gonna let them do that, you know. So
They really did, though. It's a Halloween themed one, and you knew about it for 2 years. So you've been annoyed about it for 2 years, and then at the last second, you try and get everybody to be like, "Well, I'm not coming," and she's like, "Okay, well, then don't come."
right,
That is fine with me.
yeah, I love that because I feel like it's hard, especially with family, sometimes to really stand on that. You know what I mean? Because you want to give them a second or a third chance, or whatever,
Yeah.
but.
And that's probably the most people that you want to be there is family.
Exactly. Yeah. It is a wedding.
The fact that they just doubled down on it too.
Right.
It's like, bro, it's not that serious. It's not your wedding.
Right.
Why does it matter?
If anything, though, you don't have to worry about as much stuff like decorations, food.
Yeah.
Like this next story. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Am I overreacting? My husband ate all of my food. So I just had surgery on my stomach and intestines almost 2 weeks ago. Because of that surgery, I have to adhere to a very strict diet until I'm fully healed. If I stray from the diet, it could cause severe complications and possibly lead to death. So for the first 2 weeks after surgery, I can only drink a full liquid diet. The most solid thing I can eat is pudding. I can't even have soup with any chunks of veggies or meat in it, even if they're soft. There's not a lot of variety to choose from, and I'm not having a good time at all. Plus, I'm still having pain from the procedure and some nausea, and I've had to go in for IV fluids and iron twice now. Prior to surgery, I meal prepped for myself and for the family so I wouldn't have to worry about it after. I made meals for myself for every stage of the diet with specific macros and ingredients to meet my needs and comply with my other health problems. For example, I have celiac disease, so everything has to be gluten-free. I also follow a low-sugar, low-carb diet, so everything has to comply with that as well. I also made meals for him and our son, meals specifically requested by him. I stocked up on snacks they liked and asked for. We also have a fairly strict budget right now, so I made everything from scratch to save money. About a fourth of everything I made is in the freezer attached to our fridge for convenience sake, and the rest is in the deep freeze in the garage. So most of the meals in the house freezer are gone, so I went to the garage to restock. All of the meals I made for myself are gone, just completely emptied out. I'm really upset because I have no energy right now to make more. Living off of liquids and having anemia will do that to a person. My diet is hopefully progressing to soft solids tomorrow, so I was really excited to be able to eat some of the food I made. I asked him about it, and he blamed it on our son first, which I know is BS because that kid hates all of my special food with a passion. There's no way he'd be sneaking my food. So I questioned my husband again, and he admitted to it. Said that he'd been taking my meals to work as his lunch because he was too tired to make his own lunch before work. He has always made his own lunch up until now. He also said that he was bored with the lunches he makes and my food provided variety. I'm exhausted. This recovery period is kicking my ass. Before surgery, I ran a mile every day. Now I barely have enough energy to walk up the stairs. I'm not supposed to lift more than 10 pounds. I'm not supposed to do anything more strenuous than walking. Even taking a shower is tiring right now. The anemia, dehydration, and lack of proper nutrition is making it worse. So when he admitted to taking my food, I just started crying. He hasn't been much help after the surgery. My son, 11 years old, has been doing all the lifting for me and helping me with chores and cooking. When I started crying, he got disgusted and told me that I was overreacting and being a baby. He refuses to make me new meals. He refuses to help me make new meals. He says it's been almost 2 weeks now and I should be able to do stuff on my own. At this point, I'm seriously considering divorce. I mean, my son and I are already doing everything on our own already. And I know my kid won't eat my diet food. Am I overreacting?
No.
No. What child wants to eat a low carb, low sugar, liquid diet?
Right.
What person wants to eat that? What person in general? Not even child.
Yeah.
That was.
He's missing the mark as a husband.
I feel like that's
on
malice
all
intent.
levels.
Yeah.
Because no one should go out of their way to eat that.
Right.
He's never eaten her type of food before because he has a really strict diet. But the moment that she gets surgery and it's just sitting there, he said, it added variety to my life. I was bored with the food that I make.
And she had already made them food of their own.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
You're telling me you don't help me. I'm post-op. You don't help me. Don't really help with me. You don't really help with our kid. Like, I kind of do everything. I pre-made all these meals knowing damn well your ass wasn't going to do it. So I just made them for myself and for you and for our kid.
Homemade.
Man,
Homemade.
Right.
I'm not at 100% right now. I just had surgery, and you're telling me you go into that deep freezer and pull out my meals after scarfing down yours like you're a trash compactor? Garbage disposal?
Man.
Just throwing it back? You big back?
Come on.
The audacity. I'm trying to not get riled up myself.
No, it's easy to get riled up because I think Brandon's initial thing of there's malice behind it. I think that could be true. Like, it's pissing me off so much I'm growing hair.
That's crazy. Added variety?
Yeah, nah.
What?
He's never done it before. At your most vulnerable, when somebody should be helping you, thank God you at least have your son who can help you, who should not be parentified, but he is, because, you know, your husband isn't doing anything. And it's like she's going out of her way to, like, they're on a budget, make you meals from scratch, all the snacks you could ever want. How much are you eating in 2 weeks that you ate your meals and her meals and all the snacks in the house?
Man.
I mean, for her to just like break down and cry, and he's like, oh yeah, you're overreacting.
Yeah, that one was crazy. I heard that. I said, what? This is your response?
Because, like, even if you didn't think you were in the wrong, that shouldn't be your response.
I have one question. Do you like your wife?
You must not. You can't. You can't. If you see that she's literally in pain, having a hard time. I mean, literally, I feel like if I was on a liquid diet, I would have such a freaking attitude because I'm literally hungry, and the hardest thing I can eat is pudding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm agitated. I'm frustrated. I'm in pain. I'm tired. I'm all of these things. I don't have help. And you can't even, you can't even not eat my food.
Because really, that's like one of the biggest things a partner is supposed to be there for you for, is to support you. Not even the fact that he's like literally eating her food, which that's obviously like disgusting behavior. It's the fact that when she's recovering, he's not helping her.
Yeah.
And when she complains about the pain that she's in, which she's right to complain because she had surgery, I think she said on her intestines.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like being like, stop overreacting. Okay, you get surgery on your intestines.
Men will get a cold.
And
Right.
I've seen it with some men for sure. I get what you're saying. I don't want to discredit every guy, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I've seen my brother, like he'll get a cold and he'll just like and I'm like,
it does feel good to play it up sometimes, I ain't gonna lie. But you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, if you're gonna do that, when the time comes when it's your partner's time, you know, they get sick, you know, whatever, you gotta fill the gap. Yeah, you
Double
gotta
up.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta give back to where you're getting poured into. You know what I mean?
Being baby by your partner, like when they need you to take care of them, is like one of the best feelings that you could receive. And the fact that she's going through this pain like alone, like I would literally cry. I get why she's crying because I'm thinking about that. I'm like,
for sure.
If I don't have Brandon, I need my mom. Like I need somebody to like be there for me, or else I'm crying.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. And I get that, you know, people can be strong on their own, but the fact that you have, like, that's worse than not having a partner.
Yeah.
That is worse than not having a partner.
I agree. I agree.
Sure.
That's crazy.
Because if she didn't have a partner, she would have that food in the fridge.
That's what I'm saying.
She would, like, you know, it's just a different mindset that you have. Like, if I was alone, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know I'm by myself. Like, these are the things that I'll have to do to deal with, etc., etc. Like you said, hell, at least I'd have some freaking food in my refrigerator.
Right.
But I'm in a space where I'm taking care of my family. I need kind of my family to take care of me, my partner to take care of me when I need them the most. And like, they don't really care. They're not really trying. Like, my feelings are just completely just tossed aside, and like, I'm accused of being dramatic or whatever. That is worse, I think.
Yeah.
Like, the mental torment of just that alone. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're kind of touching on it too, but just the whole fact of when you're alone, you know, you do have to like step up for yourself. But it's like, at least you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to have an expectation that at least they could do the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make me so mad.
And the bare minimum is to don't touch my food.
It is not even a lot.
And just stay on your, it's not a lot. Like, she probably has zero, she doesn't have any expectations for this man. She, like, I think you said it earlier, she did more work so that her work could be covered for these next 2 weeks of recovery.
Yeah. Because I feel like at that point, you're in the mindset of like, yeah, he's probably not going to really do much. If I'm doing this much preparation.
So she has an also on here. I think it's just more description, but it says also, I just found out he raided my non-perishable food stores in the pantry. It was mostly sugar-free Jell-O and pudding, stuff I can eat on the liquid diet. Pretty much everything is gone except for some sugar-free orange Jell-O. This man is eating the food she's supposed to be eating now. Like, you have somebody in your corner actively working against you. As you're trying to walk forward, they're literally pulling you back. That is the worst kind of partner.
Like, even with the, let's say, the sugar-free Jell-O pudding, that's stuff that you can literally just go out and buy.
Well, they don't have the budget for it.
Okay, true.
But also, if you have any type of caring for your partner, no, I'm not going to touch this because this is all they can eat.
Right.
So, am I the asshole for leaving my husband at the hospital after he refused to be in the delivery room with me? This happened 2 months ago, but it's still causing major friction in my family, so I just need some outside opinions. I, 29 female, and my husband, Jake, 32 male, have been together for 6 years, married for 3. We were both ecstatic when we found out we were expecting our first child. Pregnancy was tough for me, though. I had severe morning sickness, gestational diabetes, and was generally miserable. But Jake was supportive and sweet the whole way through, which made it bearable. As we got closer to the due date, we discussed birth plans. I was adamant that I wanted Jake in the delivery room. I needed his support, and he always agreed. However, a few weeks before my due date, Jake started acting strange. He was distant, distracted, and wouldn't engage in any baby-related discussions. I thought he was just anxious becoming a dad, so I didn't pressure him too much. The day I went into labor, Jake drove me to the hospital, but seemed off. He was quiet and kept checking his phone, and when we got there, he pulled the nurse aside and spoke to her privately. She came in and told me Jake wouldn't be in the delivery room because he was uncomfortable with blood and medical procedures, and I was stunned. He never mentioned this before. I begged him to stay. I told him that I needed him, but he just kept saying, I can't do this. I was heartbroken and furious, but I didn't have much time to dwell on it as my contractions were getting stronger. Jake said that he'd be in the waiting room, and he kissed me on the forehead before leaving. I was left alone, crying, and feeling utterly abandoned. Labor was long, painful, and traumatic. I was alone the entire time except for the medical staff. When our son was finally born, I was exhausted, emotionally and physically. The nurse handed me my son, and all I felt was deep sadness that Jake wasn't there to share this moment. I was taken to a recovery room. I asked the nurse to get Jake. She came back and said that he left the hospital hours ago. I couldn't believe it. I called him repeatedly, but he didn't answer. Finally, I sent him a text saying that I was done and he could find his own way home.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see him until the next day. He showed up at the hospital with flowers and an apology, saying that he panicked and he needed some air. He claimed that he had gone home to shower and change and fell asleep, which I didn't buy for a second. I told him I didn't believe him. I was overwhelmed with anger and hurt. I told him that he had let me down in the worst way possible. He kept apologizing, saying he knew he'd messed up and that he'd do anything to make it right. I didn't want him near me or our son at that moment, so I asked him to leave. He tried to protest, but I told him that I needed to process everything. He left, and I spent the rest of my hospital stay alone with my baby, trying to grapple with the enormity of what just happened. Since then, Jake has been trying to make amends. He's been taking parenting classes, attending therapy, and is constantly trying to be present and supportive. But I can't shake the feeling of betrayal. He abandoned me at one of the most vulnerable moments of my life. Every time I look at him, I remember being alone in the delivery room, terrified and in pain, wondering why the person who promised to be by my side wasn't there. My family is split. Some people think I'm being too hard on Jake and that he made a mistake and is clearly remorseful. They say he's a good father and partner otherwise, and I should focus on moving forward for the sake of our child. Others think what he did was unforgivable and that I should just leave him. They believe I'll never trust him again, and that's no foundation for a marriage. I'm torn. I do still love him. I know he loves me and our son, but part of me wonders if I'll ever get over this. Was it just a moment of weakness on his part or a sign of something deeper that I can't overlook? So am I the asshole for leaving him at the hospital and now considering leaving him for good?
No.
I don't think so either. I think there's very few moments like this that can cause such distrust in your relationship. One of them is cheating. Sorry about that. I can smell it. That fart.
That one smelled like...
Josh might smell it soon enough because it's aimed towards
Hopefully
you.
not. Hopefully not.
One of them is cheating. One of them is, oh my God, childbirth is scary because we've had this discussion before where like in the childbirth room or in the
Delivery room.
Thank you. That was weird.
Childbirth room.
Sometimes the men faint and like they're like, am I the asshole for not being there? But the discussion was had beforehand multiple times.
Yeah.
And they said he would be there.
Yeah.
he doesn't speak to her for like weeks about it beforehand. He like always evades the questions. And then he gets to the hospital and it's like she had been alone for like weeks technically because he had locked her out of his thoughts. Whether they were valid or not, he was wrong for not telling her when he started having those thoughts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the very least, even though it would have severely still affected their relationship, she could have like had her mom come, like somebody, so she wasn't completely alone. Yeah. And then like him trying to make it up. I don't really think you can. I mean, yeah, you can have therapy and yeah, you can, because some people can get over their partner cheating.
Yeah.
But most can't.
Yeah.
So I think this is a similar situation where it's like some people could do it, but most people aren't going to think about anything but that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to be fearful in the future with a lot of decisions because that's going to be in their mind. And they really have to like train themselves not to think that way.
Yeah.
And there has to be a lot of time for you to change. And like, especially right now, and like just having a baby on your own is a lot. And so like having a baby and feeling like you're alone and your partner's there and you don't believe that they're there for you anymore. It's a lot. So I understand why she wants to leave. And yeah, I don't think she's the asshole.
Yeah, as you were seeing all this stuff, I started to notice multiple points that I feel like as a man, you just like it's one or the other. So it was that breaking of trust, you know, so he went back on his word. That's strike number one. If you go back on your word, you don't have anything. At the end of the day, you say you're going to do something, commit to it. Don't care what it looks like. 2, you have to be strong. For the woman to be vulnerable, alone, and it's like, I can't. Bro, marriage is about sacrifice. Don't say through thick or thin if you're not going to be there when it gets thick.
Right, for sure.
Why are you that? And then at the end, when some people are like, it's a mistake is not going into the room. A mistake is not going home
And falling asleep.
showering and having enough peace to go to sleep. I don't see in one world where you could go home and have enough peace to go to sleep.
There is no world. That's why. There is no world.
He would have to be at least some sort of relaxed to know my wife is giving birth and still be able to sleep. Those 4 things all together, culmination, you know, like you were saying, if you can work it out, you can work it out. But you have all right to, because he's showing you when it gets thick, I ain't gonna be there. But I'm gonna be remorseful afterwards. But being remorseful afterwards doesn't help anything.
This was a situation where he just had to rise to the occasion, and he just completely missed the mark. I mean, when you decide to have a kid, you know all that comes with it. Obviously, she's going to have to birth this child. And I think anybody's expectation is that he was going to be there. For him to be like, you know, I just can't do procedures. I can't do it. This isn't something that she can just opt out of and be like, I can't do it. It hurts too bad. I can't do it.
Right.
She has to go through this, has to live through it. And for you just to be like, I'm opting out because I just can't do it. That's crazy. For you to be okay with her going through this by herself, not having anybody there, and for you to literally leave the hospital and not even tell her yourself, hey, I'm not going to be in the delivery room. You tell the nurse to tell her. You're not even man enough to look her in the face and tell her your shortcomings yourself.
Right.
You go tell the nurse and have her tell her for you. That's embarrassing.
For sure.
You should be embarrassed.
For sure.
You should be ashamed. You should be shunned. For you to just be like, as a man, you can't even be strong enough for me at my weakest.
Yeah, that's
While
a line.
I'm trying to birth your child, our child,
Your big-headed baby.
your big-headed ass baby.
He was cute, but he was big.
And
Oh.
hey, yo,
She ran out of power.
she said, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go to sleep, or somebody recharge me, one of the two. Yeah, I just think that that is so messed up. I mean, I think that is grounds to be like, I just literally want to leave you because you can't rise to the occasion.
Right,
Like,
for sure.
you can't rise to the occasion. You can't support me when I literally need it the most. She just went through probably the most challenging thing she'll ever go through physically and mentally. And because you can't, quote unquote, do medical procedures, you weren't there. She's birthing a child. She's
Right.
birthing a child, and you can't get over the psychological fact of it's a medical procedure and blood. What?
Right. Because that's just so weird. Because I'm like, even if you're not there for like the baby actually coming out, because I mean, it depends on where you go, but some like hospitals don't allow that. You know what I mean? But at least for you to be there when they let you back into the room, like, even if you're not comfortable like seeing it, I guess, whatever. It's just like, bro, the opportunity is there and you just missed it on all parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had two failures
Yeah.
back to back. Because failure one was not being in there. But at least if you weren't going to be in there, be in that waiting room.
Right.
But he wasn't even there.
Bro left the hospital?
Yeah. That sounds like
You dodo? What are you thinking?
Right.
two opportunities and you failed at both.
I think in the long run, though, would probably be easier for her. But right now, no matter what, it's probably going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, what he did was just so fundamentally wrong
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, I don't think there's not an apology. There's no way you come back from that. For me,
Yeah.
like if you were to do that to me, there's just no way.
Yeah.
So top comment. The thing is, where did he disappear to? He totally left the hospital. I don't know if I'd be able to trust him. What if a serious issue arises in the future? Hopefully not. Will he abandon you then just to apologize again? And OP responded, like apologies would make it all go away. Apologies that seem very half-hearted too. Man's not even... All right. It's not
Yeah.
even a sincere apology.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Yeah. Buddy's cooked.
He's done. He is done. To the gulag.
To the gulag.
No, he don't even get that chance. Kick him out the game.
He's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
Game over.
He's done because he's a child.
And with that, I think that's the first Halloween episode that we have.
Woo!
I just want to say special shout out to Josh for reaching out to me today,
Shout out Josh.
saying he has a cloak that he wants to use in this video.
and
Come
did.
on. Yeah.
Because
And
I
did.
reached out to everybody else. And everybody else said, okay.
Yay.
I'm getting
Shout out
something.
to everybody else too. Come
Shout
on.
out to Sadia for getting this
That's
for me.
right. Yeah.
Shout out to Brandon for having multiple
Yeah.
outfits and shoes and he didn't know.
He didn't know.
Shout out to Madi for letting us do
Hey,
it.
thank you guys for, and shout out to Husker for not barking
Yes.
No.
and sleeping a little bit and only farting on other people for the
Right.
most part.
He didn't fart
Because
on
he
me.
usually farts on me.
Man.
I didn't
So-
even catch a whiff.
So, yeah. Thank you guys for coming to the Comfort Level podcast.
What a way to kick off the
My
holiday,
pleasure.
am I right?
Oh yeah.
Best holiday.
Hey.
This holiday award goes to.
Woo, 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 woo.
Halloween.
Come on.
And we'll see you guys next week. Maybe with Sam. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I replaced him. You won't.
Hey. Bye.
Bye.
Can we get a Red Bull sponsor?
Tell me why I got a
about
fake
that?
Red Bull sponsor in the email and I almost got really excited.
Dang.
But it was like kind of written, you could tell it was written by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But it kind
Oh.
of got me for a second. I was like, this is like, okay, this gives like brand emo compared to what they usually would send,
Yeah.
which is where they're like, hey, we send you products and you give us a 60-second ad. Let's freaking shake hands on this. Am I right? Click this link. And I'm like, you have any respect for me?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You
Do
get
you have
into
any
the
respect for me?
yeah. You get into
You
the
don't even
mob
give me
boss
an
bag.
offer.
Mm.
You come to my table.
Mm.
Give me a a piece of slop, half eaten, thrown on the ground, picked up, put in the trash, pulled out, and you expect me to receive you?
Degenerates.
And give you something back in return?
Degenerates,
tenfold?
Mikey. Sorry.
Mikey knows his value.
Mikey knows.
As Mikey grows older with age and the hair falls back a little bit more, Mikey's value grows.
Mikey knows.
Because the forehead isn't the only thing getting bigger. The brain's getting bigger too.
Mikey knows.
So brands, reach out to us, you know? Have a conversation with Mikey.
Get that off you.
Get that off
The
you, little
baby
guy.
talk is crazy. I can get that off you, fella. Little guy.
Get that right on off you. What's that doing there? What's that doing?